Hey, ladies and jelly spoons.
How's it going?
Probably not a lot of ladies. I know we have a lot of jelly spoons. We're big in the jelly spoon community. I know that. So it says on our YouTube trending page. So anyway, this week we are going to do a Crusade review for Codex Drukhari, or Deldar, if you're old school.
Deldar?
Dark Eldar.
Oh, yeah.
If you're old school, or read 1D4 Chan.
Deldar, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So that's who obviously I played in the.
Well, you played a lot more than just them.
Yeah.
You wore a lot of hats.
I did, and I don't even wear hats. Yeah. In the first season,
but they were your starter.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to play. I realized throughout as playing that first season. Now, obviously, we're into the second one, and I'm, however good I'm doing, I don't know. It's in the future, but so as I kind of played that first season, I realized that at least right now, with my skill set in Warhammer 40k, Drukhari probably aren't the army that fits my playstyle. I think they're a great army. I think they're super fluffy. I love painting the models.
Oh yeah.
And I had fun. They didn't ever make it onto the channel because I never upgraded my Archon enough to get where I could get Trueborn.
Well, they could make it in the future.
Oh, in the future, yeah. But as far as in the first season, I never leveled them up enough to be able to get Trueborn, or Blood Brides or whatever. But I had fun kind of converting those, and just like from a hobby aspect, I really like the Drukhari. Yeah. I like the look of them. I like the way that they play, but just I'm not very good in that style.
Yeah, they are the glass cannon.
Yeah,
faction.
Yeah, and
I mean, even from our final 3-player battle that we did, you were wrecking face until we started hitting back.
Yeah,
and everything just started.
Yeah, I mean, my I wiped maybe half of Connor's off, and he finished me off. Yeah, so if they don't kill you the first turn, they're in trouble. And I'm sure there's ways to work around that, and to kind of like everybody talks about, 9th edition is about trading or whatever. I'm not good at playing match play, so.
I mean, I do have to admit one thing about the Necrons I do like is they're very forgiving with their reanimation protocols. I'll trade with you all day.
Yeah. Well, it's like Connor went in there that last game, I think. He shot you, he fought you or whatever, and then 3 guys died, you killed 3 of his guys, and then 2 of your guys just stood back up. Yeah. I'm losing this trade here. But anyway, but Drukhari's Crusade rules are really cool.
Yeah. I remember you telling me before you got the codex for them when we were getting ready to do the Crusade season. And when you told me their unique mechanic, I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So their mechanic is their main thing, kind of like your dynastic epitaph for Necrons. Yeah. Is territorial dominance. And it's basically your Archon, your Ascendant Lord. Yeah. So that's your... the law boss for the orcs.
So what is the Ascendant Lord?
The Ascendant Lord is you pick that
when you're creating your
you create your battle, the order battle or whatever.
Okay. And they
can be any character except for named characters.
Okay.
So basically an Archon, Succubus, or a Homunculus.
Okay. So you get to pick, but you get to pick one of those 3.
Yeah, you pick whichever one you want. I picked the Archon. Archon is
of course,
obviously. So when you win a battle, you get a raid spoil point. And also, after every battle, win or lose, you roll a dice. On a 4-up, you get another one. Or you get one, and you get another one if you win. Basically. Okay. So, and it's just bad luck, I guess. And I didn't play enough games with them. I think I played 4 games.
3, I think.
No, I played you, Connor, Jack,
so you did
and then
games.
the last one.
If you would have stuck with it, I'm pretty sure you would have started.
I mean, eventually, you have to get it eventually. But I only managed to get 1 raid point because I beat you the first game.
First game.
And I never won again.
Yeah.
and I never rolled 4. I rolled 3 and 2s and 1s the whole time.
But at least, I mean, I do have to say, at least you have the potential of getting your unique mechanic, win or lose.
Yeah.
Like with Necrons, it's you have to win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But like I was saying, it's similar in that it is definitely tied to it.
Yeah.
You know, yes, it is possible to get it, but not in my case. I mean, I didn't. The only one I got was when I won a battle.
Well, we've been alluding to this really cool mechanic. So what is it?
So you get your raid spoil points, and you can do different things with your raid spoils. Like there's different spoils of battle. Like you spend kind of like you do requisition.
Okay.
So for example, you can. This one was actually kind of cool. What was it? Oh, here it is. So it's called Personal Supply. It costs 1 raid spoil. So I actually could have done this in the last battle because I had 1 raid spoil point.
Okay.
So the fluff is through both threats and demonstrations of explosive violence directed at their personal network of contacts, this succubit ensures a greater supply of her most powerful stimulants. So if your order battle contains Ascendant... Oh, actually, I couldn't have done this because my Ascendant Lord wasn't a succubus. Oh, well, that wasn't what I was thinking of. So this one, you can re-roll 1 or both of the dice when you randomly determine what drugs you have with her.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was called.
I think it was probably that one, wasn't it?
Anyway, there was one where you can get your Archon to take drugs too.
Oh.
So he would get the combat drugs ability too.
Wow.
And like I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. You know, so you spend your raid spoil points on that. You can also dominate for 1 raid spoil point.
And what is
you
that?
randomly generate 1 territory from the table on the opposite.
So this was the cool mechanic.
Yeah. So like they have weapon forges, they have toxin distilleries, arenas.
Yeah. So this is all in
Gamora. Yeah. So you're building up your power base in Gamora.
See, I think this is the type of thing I was talking about with like the newer codexes versus the starting ones. This is cool. Like this is fluff. You know, you're building the story. Like, oh, what are you?
I think the name thing was too. I think that's fluff.
I don't think so. Like, but like this one, oh, we just like, what did you do for me? Like, oh, Archon, we built you. We got a toxin distillery. We got the arena for our witches. You know?
Yeah, and they have the gang territory, and that's what I wanted to do because I had some mandrakes I wanted to bring in, but I wanted to get the Shadow District before I brought in the mandrakes. I have some scourges I wanted to bring in, but I wanted to get the Noble Spire. You know, like I wanted to have
a reason for them to come in.
You know, I'm sure people that watch this have also watched Archon Scari's, and he has a Crusade thing, and he did the same kind of thing.
Thanks for the scribe, by the way.
Yeah. Love Scary. But he did the same kind of thing, and I was like, oh, that's super cool. You know, like that really that's what gets my juices flowing. Like, you know, winning is fun or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fluff, that's what got me in.
Yes,
the fluff in the background.
That is what pulled basically all 3 of us. I mean, Connor's in here, but like that's what pulled it was the fluff. Yeah. Like that's why we like this setting so much.
We like the stories and we want to tell our own stories in it. And that's why we like the Crusade thing so much. Yeah. And this helps do that. That just like, I don't know, like perfectly encapsulates it for me. Yeah. Like, you know, yes, of course my Archon is, or my Succubus or my Homunculi, whatever, is gathering power in Gamora. And, you know, like
it's very cool. Yeah. It's very cool.
And so, like, then you have, you know, for your weapon forges, I think this is actually where it was.
Probably the toxin distillery.
No, that was for poison weapon. Oh. Yeah, so we'll just do that one. So toxin distillery, when you get one of those territories, so commanding hundreds of alchemists and venom refiners, this lord's Cabalites carry vials of experimental poison. Once per battle, in your command phase, if your Ascendant Lord is on the battlefield, you can select 1 Cabal unit from your army. Until the end of that turn, any poison weapon this unit is equipped with gains the Poison Weapon 2+ ability. So you would wound on 2s for that 1 turn. Yeah. And I mean, that's just so cool, you know?
But then it ties back to the narrative you're building. Like, well, of course they have this because we've had this distillery back.
It was Scourge Spires.
Scourge Spire, okay.
So yeah, they gain additional experience point. The arenas, the witches gain additional experience point. Incubi Shrine. You know, so it's like, ooh, so this would have been good if I would have got a freaking dock.
Yeah.
After each battle, when rolling determined if rates full points is gained, add 2 to the roll. So I only needed to roll a 2 up.
Yeah, there you go.
4 up.
All you need was some docks.
Yeah, I need some docks. Where are my docks? But yeah, so like it really fits with the fluff. I really like that.
I do like that.
So that's their kind of like main thing or whatever.
Yeah, their main mechanic.
Obviously, we also have the agendas, just like everybody else. The gruesome bounty is the one that I did. I think most often. I think I did it twice.
Yeah, at least twice.
But it's basically if you kill something in melee, kill a unit in melee, you get 1 experience per time you've done that.
Yeah.
The one that I thought was interesting was take credit, and I wanted to do that with my Archon because basically the way it works is every other unit that gained experience points on a 2-to-1 basis. So for every 2 they get, your Archon just gets 1 because he's taking credit for whatever they've done. He's like, yes, of course I took care of it.
Yeah, even though because of my leadership.
Even though it was the witches that did it or whatever, you know, or the succubus.
Well, because I had the foresight to bring them with me. Yeah. Well, see, that's super fluffy.
Yeah, I like that one, but the problem was we were playing combat patrol for the most part, and in combat patrol size games, you only take 1 agenda. So, obviously, if that's the only agenda I'm taking, then he's not going to really get credit for much because they're not doing anything else. I mean, I guess they would get some for experience points for killing. But you get 1 for every 3, so it's not likely to get a whole bunch.
Yeah. It's usually it was your Archon getting the big kills anyway.
Yeah. And then the send a message, that's basically like you're trying to I thought about taking this actually in the last game that we played with you. Obviously it wouldn't affect, because it's basically you want people to run away from, so you do a thing on an objective. And it's called redecorate. It's basically you put guts and dead bodies of their friends all over the place. And if you make them run away, make the enemy run away, then you get experience points. Obviously, it wouldn't have worked against you very well. But orcs don't have super high leadership, so.
Well, my two favorite armies. Granted, I haven't painted the one yet, but is Necrons and Tyranids.
Yeah.
Tyranids, if they're in Synapse Dreams, they don't suffer leadership, so that really wouldn't work against mine.
What about your GSC?
GSC, they do have leadership,
but you can make them loyal thrall or something.
Yeah. They're within. They're close enough.
Yeah. But it was mostly for the orcs. You tried to do that.
That would definitely work. Or the Death Guard or Black Dragons.
Yeah, but they got pretty high leadership too, though.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it's super fluffy.
It's fluffy.
I like that about the mechanics and their agendas.
And then the other one was demonstrate superiority, and I couldn't do that one because I didn't have enough things to get a real space raid into my initial roster. I mean, maybe I could have, but I didn't have any racks at the time.
Yeah.
So you need 1 succubus, 1 archon, 1 homunculus, and then 1 Cabalite warrior, 1 witch, and 1 rack unit to make a real space raid detachment. But so it's basically you keep a tally for each of those things, each witch cult thing, each cabal thing, and each homunculus coven thing, and whoever kind of gets the most gets more bonus experience as you're showing who's boss. Their requisitions are actually pretty cool. My favorite one, I didn't I don't think I ever killed any. Well, I did kill your warlord.
Oh yeah.
So I would have done this after.
Oh no, you killed me with last game. It was your incubi the first game that killed me.
My incubi with the first game, and then my stupid raider killed you.
That's right.
I don't think my lord is killed. Yeah. And then I didn't kill Snagrag, obviously, with my warlord.
He ripped your head off.
Yeah, so I haven't killed any, but a soul trap.
Okay.
Soul traps vary in size and appearance from pyramidal prisms to jeweled skulls engraved with vampiric runes, but all serve to capture the spirit essence of powerful enemies and empower the bearer with stolen energies.
That's awesome.
Purchase this requisition once after a battle in which an enemy character unit was destroyed by a melee attack made by an Archon model from your army. Add 1 soul point to that Archon model's Crusade card. Once the model has 5 soul points, you can remove them and add 1 to the model's attacks, strength, toughness, and leadership characteristics.
All of them?
If you do so, increase that Archon's model's Crusade points value by 2, and you cannot select that Archon model for this requisition again. So it's basically you're taking this soul,
the soul,
and empowering yourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
That's cool.
yeah. Like I really wanted to do that, but obviously I didn't.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing with this. Like with you were mad because you didn't think you had enough to do.
Yeah, it felt
like I had too much to do, and I was sucked with them, so I couldn't do anything.
Well, I sucked with the Necrons too. I mean, I only won the 1 game.
I only won 1 game too.
Yeah. So we suck equally.
Yeah.
But I agree. I mean, this is so fluffy. I love this.
Oh, this one here too. A constant state of disappointment. A constant source of disappointment. Sometimes an example needs to be made, and those who have failed their commander find themselves thrust into the arena to be slaughtered or disposed of in some other suitably gruesome manner. Purchase this requisition after battle when you have an Ascendant Lord on your order of battle. Select a unit from your order of battle that has 2 or more battle scars. Remove that unit from your order of battle, and you gain a number of raid bullet points equal to that unit's Crusade points total.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically,
he's getting rid of it.
You've disappointed me too much.
You disappointed me for the last time.
Yeah. So like they have a lot of really cool things.
That's super fluffy. Yeah. I mean, like we said with the Necron stuff, their requisitions are they're decent, but like these are super cool.
Yeah.
Like they fit fluff wise, but they also mechanically are very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that about the Drukhari. I mean, I know there's a lot of different things, but like that's where all your creativity comes from. It's like, okay, the sky's the limit with these guys. You can just play them how you want to play them.
Yeah. Oh, and this one here too, Clandestine Dealings. And I couldn't ever I wanted to do this, but I didn't ever get any more raid spoil points, so I couldn't, because it's like after you've gained raid spoil points, you spend requisition, and you get a number of raid spoil points equal to the requisition that you spent. But I got one the first game, and I wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah.
And then once I'm like, oh, I need to get some more raid spoil points. Like I never got any more, so I couldn't do it. If I only had some docks.
Yeah. Well, now you know if you're going to play Drukhari in the future.
I'm going to. I'm not just like throwing them away.
Yeah, you were showing us, me and Connor, the paint jobs you've done like that.
I did all of my Trueborn stuff. I did all the racks and the homunculi. So I'm ready for my real space raid stuff now. But it'll be, eventually maybe season 3 or whatever.
Maybe they'll make a comeback.
Then the other 2 requisitions are basically just to get the advanced version of the Archon Succubus or Homunculi to get the upgraded version of the troops.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that next one is get the upgraded version of the troops.
Okay.
So that's all their requisitions. For their battle traits, you want to roll one?
Sure. All right.
So we have character units, Cabalite units, Witch Cult units, and Homunculus Coven units. They also have special ones in the Book of Rust.
Oh, that's right. They did have the Book of Rust.
Yeah, for
it was
Witch Cult units. Like Lilith Hesperix was
what, Sisters of Battle in Drukhari?
No.
Or no, it was Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, it was the Caradon book.
Oh, that's right. All right, so let's see what you get for characters. You got 6.
6. So Lord of Toxins. Actually, I did get this one. Each time this creature has access to some of the most virulent toxins in all of Khemora. The hyperfine molecular structure of these venoms allows them to pass through bonded ceramite after the merest of scratches. Each time this model makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 more wound on the target in addition to any normal damage.
Nice.
That actually is the one that I got.
All right, let's say Cabalite Warriors. You got a 2.
Skilled Raiders. These enforcers have mastered a superb balance, instinctively rolling with every subtle pitch of their grab transport while punishing the foe with deadly accurate fire. I really wish I had this one. When this unit is selected to shoot with while embarked in a transport unit, each time a model in this unit makes a range attack, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the hit roll.
Damn. Yeah, that really would have been nice. All right, so Witch Cult. Got a 5.
Lightning Strikes. Once amongst the foe, These combatants flash their blades in the blink of an eye, opening veins and severing limbs. Each time they make a melee attack for a model-less unit, an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional hit. That's pretty good.
All right, and finally, Homunculus Coven 2.
Razor bone spurs. The sharpened bones of these creatures protrude through their callous skin and are laced with seeping toxic marrow. Each time an enemy unit finishes a charge move within engagement range of this unit, roll a d6. On a 2+, that enemy unit suffers 1 more wound.
Wow.
So that's what you had.
Yeah.
Lesser than yours.
Yeah.
But 'cause I think you did d3. But
Yeah, D3 more wound.
yeah, I mean, so it's
It's
pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have the standard weapon enhancements.
Yeah, you got weapon enhancements. They're all for poison weapons.
And then the battle scars, was it similar to
you just have the
Necrons?
one.
Oh, just the one.
Yeah.
So like you have to, usually we've noticed with the, I guess it makes sense, but it's like you get the one unique battle scar for your faction, and then if you want to have something different, you have to go to the core book or one of the other supplements.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just one, but it's one like per thing.
Yeah, one,
like you have
one per
for
character.
It's basically the same. Like you have character, Cabalite, Witch, and Homunculus.
Yeah.
The one that I really like on this one is the Cabalite Warrior one.
Did they have the plus and minus battle scars as well?
Sort of.
Okay.
So they don't really gain anything, but they don't really lose anything either, I guess. So, having committed some grave sin against their cabal, these warriors attempt to strike out on their own, selling their services to the highest bidder. So they lose the cabal keyword, and they gain the blades for hire. So they basically just become mercenaries.
That's pretty cool.
So it's just interesting.
Fluffy. Yeah, it's fluffy.
And then they got the relics and the weapon enhancements.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it for as far as the rules go.
Yeah. So how would you rate Drukhari?
I mean, I like the rules. I wish, kind of like we talked about with the Necrons, I wish it wasn't overly dependent on winning. And I think it's kind of like the Necrons too, like where you have to get, once you get snowballing, I think you would.
Yeah, but at least with Drukhari, you have a chance. Granted, you didn't pass any of your rolls during our Crusade season, but like you win or lose, you have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I kind of agree. It's like, but I mean, of course they want to incentivize you winning, because otherwise you would never try to win. Yeah. It's like, well
it's what I wish that they had an agenda that it was like, go get some raid spoils. You know, like you're on this raid, this real space raid.
Yeah.
And, like, so if they had this agenda where like your Archon doesn't care about this, the prize or whatever mission you're playing, and they're going and getting the objectives or whatever, like you just keep doing this thing to get these raid spoils because we need to fix my raider. Yeah. Like I wish they had that, because I would have taken that agenda to try to get some more raid spoil points. And the other thing too is it's like the one, like with your names, the Necrons, like the names were random, but they didn't do anything. Yeah. Once you got 3 of them, you just picked whatever
I wanted.
Yeah, thing you wanted. With the Drukhari, I think if you spend 3 raid spoil points, you can pick which one you want.
Otherwise, it's random. Oh.
So even if I would have done that one trying to get docks, I didn't ever get 3. I only had 2, so I would have had to just roll randomly. Yeah. And, I could have possibly got something that, because I didn't have any homunculus stuff in there at the time. So if I would have rolled something that was about homunculus, then it would have done nothing for me, so. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish it wasn't as tied to winning as, And it was one of the earliest codexes, too. I think it was.
I think it came out around the same time Sisters of Battle did, didn't it?
It was before Sisters of Battle.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was
before AdMac.
I think it was Dark Angels, then it was Drukhari, then it was Death Guard maybe? Or maybe I'm mixing, somewhere in there. It was before AdMac. It was definitely before AdMac. So they were one of the first 9th edition, from the 3rd to 5th range.
Though you could even see how Games Workshop had kind of refined their process a bit more.
Yeah, and I think they're even getting better as we go. Like we saw the preview for, it's already out now, obviously, because it's in the future. But the Gene Stealer Call, and it's very fluffy and interesting.
Yeah, about that they're taking over the planet.
We don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. Well, our future selves do. Yeah. We don't, living in the past. So it may
lucky in the future.
it may be similar to this, where like you have to win the game to get to do your infiltration stuff or whatever. But yeah, so it's. I mean, I like them. I wish it was as tied.
How would you rate their codex?
I mean, as far as just fluff and interesting things and kind of like motivating me to want to play them, I would give it a 10.
Oh yeah.
As far as execution, probably like an 8, I guess. I mean, it's good.
It's good, but I think a majority of that is probably the same thing with the Necron Codex is tied to our skill level.
Yeah, that is true too. Yeah, and there's not a way to get around that because to get your things, you need to win the game.
Yeah, and
like maybe it's how we play, or maybe it's the armies that we're playing against. Like maybe they don't go into maybe either of us don't go into toughness 5 things
that lower our toughness.
Yeah, because like you got the orcs and you got the Death Guard or whatever, and they're both really tough, tanky things. Yeah, and neither of us did very well against them. No. So we should just play us every time. Every time. Because I beat you.
Yeah, I mean, I would give the Codex. I'd probably give it a 10 out of 10 too. Just like for the sheer, but it's like, I mean, I like all factions in 40K. There's no one faction I hate, but I've never really been super big on Drukhari. Yeah. But like when you were telling me about this Codex, and even now we're going over, it's like I want to play as Drukhari. Yeah.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
And like I know that a lot of people don't like them now because they win a lot of tournaments or whatever, but
well, I mean,
with me.
They got the nerf hand.
Not with me.
Yeah, pretty bad. Yeah.
I'm not a part of that. I haven't made them overpowered, and they don't win every tournament I go to. Trust me.
Oh yeah. The past couple tournaments been AdMac actually.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys. Screw those guys. But yeah, I guess that's where we'll end it for this evening.
All right.
If you guys enjoyed the review there, and we'll bring you some more as we get on. Yeah. So everybody have a good night and a pleasant tomorrow.
All right. See ya.